You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. Why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Combs. You know who coming to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhouse with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com and check out the new and improved blog section. Dropping about 4 to 5 blogs a day over there, guys. We're writing about Packers, Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, Dolphins, who else? Patriots, Jets, 49ers. Yeah, all those teams, guys, happening. Blogs over there are happening. Good things are happening. Also, the Man Hour merchandise is over there as well, so click on the merchandise page and get some good merch. Speaking of good merch, we do have waffle merch out there. Wyatt, you are the king of the waffles. What's up tonight, buddy?
Nothing much, man. I feel like every single time I get on here, I say the exact same thing. Oh, I went to class.
Welcome to being an adult, Wyatt.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, today was fun though. I mean, I actually went into the studio today from 10 to 2. Then I came home, hung out with Nikki for an hour and ate lunch. And then I had to be back to class by 3. I was in class from 3 to 7. Got off at 7ish, and then headed back here. And tomorrow I get to meet Danny Duncan for a second time, so I'm hyped about that. And also last night I got 2 Fortnite wins back to back, and it was my first 2 wins ever.
Flex on them.
Yeah. And they were. I just got a brand new Stormtrooper skin, so there you go. And they have like lightsabers. They're doing like a Star Wars theme right now for it. They have like lightsabers in the game, and I won the second game because I like chopped somebody with the Mace Windu's purple lightsaber, and I was in a clone outfit. I was like, what is happening right now?
So why?
I got my nerd out. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Like say, you are 100% nerd right now. Speaking of nerds, we do have a man on the phone. This man likes to make very provocative statements out there, and last night was no different with the if and then statements. So Beastie Combs is on the phone with us, and what's going on, Beastie?
What is going on, Michael Buckheister? What is going on, Wyatt Williams? What is going on, Man Hour Nation? Guys, what kind of world am I living in right now where Michael Buckheister is saying I make outlandish statements?
It's a factual world where the May the 4th be with you. It's a week and a half past, so may the 4th be with Buck, because Buck is leading the Man Hour right now, and I'm happy.
The only force that's just Buck when you're sitting on the throne in the bathroom.
Yeah. So I had Chinese for a lunch. I ate lunch about 11:30, and I have shat 4 times since then. And they're just not little cat shits, right? They are like full blow out of O-ring. My butthole is red type of poops, right?
It's funny that you're talking about cat shit.
You know what a cat shit is like. Every time you go in there and you're struggling, you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a monster poop, and a little turd just goes bloop. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody's been there.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so which one of my comments I want to talk about first?
Okay, so Combs, last night we introduced a new game called If and Then, right? So it was it's like if I say this and then you say this. So let me give an example.
Let me give you.
No. Let me give the people an example of a if and then statement there. So this one's going to be towards you, Combs. You can answer it first, right? If Brandon Combs sends Wyatt Williams his baseball glove, then
it would be a miracle that he remembered who sent Wyatt Williams his baseball glove.
So Wyatt told me to do that, Combs. So yeah.
Oh, before the show, I was like, oh, Combs is gonna be on. I was like, oh, we gotta mess with him about this. We have to. And then in the pre-show, we started talking, and you said, I was like, Combs, I have a question for you. And you said, no, Wyatt, I have not sent your glove yet.
Like, boom. You want to know what's really funny about it? Is I'm out here in Milwaukee. I'm sitting in a hotel room, and last night I was leaving the shop, and one of the guys was like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta get to my softball game. And I said, hey, you know what? Funny story. I actually have an extra glove in my truck. You mind if I play?
But anyways, Combs, moving on here, there are some if and then statements that you were kind of outlandish about. And one of them was, I believe it was the Philadelphia Eagles. And we said, A.J. Brown. If A.J. Brown gets 1,500 yards in the season, you said that the Eagles are still a 6-win team. I was kind of blown away by that because I think they are Super Bowl favorites. Like, if that happens, Wyatt said they're going to be pretty damn good, but you are on the exact opposite. Defend yourself, man.
First of all, you say outlandish statements, and I think you meant to say truth. Last time I checked, Jalen Hurts is still their quarterback, and Gardner Minshew is still their backup.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of having Miles Sanders, regardless of having A.J. Brown alongside with Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, some of the best weapons in this game, Jalen Hurts is still their quarterback. And this team is just not moving the needle for me. I don't see where they're at. Their defense is, outside of Fletcher Cox, suspect at best. I don't really care for the defense of the Eagles. I don't like Jalen Hurts at all as a starting quarterback. I'm sorry, but
I don't.
Out of 32 starting quarterbacks, he's got to be between 30 and 32.
No.
Yeah. How is he not? How is he not, Wyatt?
I'm not saying he's top 10, but dear God, he's not 30 to 32.
He threw for 3,144 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, and had a QBR of 48.5.
He's a rushing quarterback with no weapons, no offensive line, and no head coach.
He's a rushing quarterback. You said it yourself. You're a rushing quarterback. So what good does having AJ come to the team and having freaking Devontae Smith do a rushing quarterback? You know what this is? This is a poor man's version of Lamar Jackson.
Oh, don't you say that, because Lamar Jackson's trash. So that means Tua is like yesterday's news.
So is Hurts. Jalen Hurts is worse than trash. Jalen Hurts is not starting quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles are not even going to win their own division.
So, Combs, this is what you're missing here is, if A.J. Brown gets 1,500 yards, then that means Tua is not a 30-ranked quarterback in the league. He is probably top 15 at the worst. That means he is performing well. That means they are winning a lot of games. That means they're Super Bowl favorites.
Tua,
or not Tua, Hurts. I'm sorry, Hurts.
No, if they had Tua, I might like him a little bit more. Not the big Tua guy, but Jalen Hurts just is not that guy. He hasn't been there. I said that after his rookie year. I said it after heading into last year, and I'm saying it again heading into this year. If they go into the season with Jalen Hurts as their starting quarterback, they are a 6 to 7 win team.
Even if A.J. Brown has 1,500 yards.
Even if A.J. Brown has 1,500 yards, because that means nobody else is touching the ball.
And your point is what?
Good Lord.
Jameson says that the Eagles will win 9 games at most likely 6 to 7. Drew jumps in the set and says, howdy, boys. What's up, Alpha Rob, as well. So, Wyatt, you are an Eagles fan, it kind of seems like. You're kind of the Eagles fanboy.
I'm not.
Are you going to defend this 1,500 yards by A.J. Brown by making them, the favorites, or are you going to let just Combs, walk all over you?
I'm going to let Combs just walk all over me. That's what it is.
Okay. Well, hashtag waffle.
Okay. The Eagles. No, the Eagles. First off, Fletcher Cox is not trash. That is a Buck statement, Combs. That is something that Michael Buckheisser would get on here and say.
I said Fletcher.
Would never say that.
Beyond Fletcher Cox, the defense is suspect. I said Fletcher Cox is the only person on that defense that can play.
That defense is
The
a
rest
top
of
10
them
defense.
are-
Graham, TJ Edwards, Jordan Davis, who they just got. Have you seen Jordan Davis? He is 6'8", 350 pounds, and runs a sub 4.6, 4.7 40. He is a refrigerator that runs at 20 miles an hour, literally.
So when he's in shorts, he's really, really fast and really, really big.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh
cool.
my God!
That is very true.
No. Go watch the national championship game. Go watch any Georgia game this year, and he is a wrecking ball of an off. Like, he just shreds offensive linemen. And on top of that, like I said, they have. I believe they still have Darius. Yeah, they still have Darius Slay as well
Cool.
at corner.
Cool.
And they
They
still
got
have
good
Jalen.
defense. And Jalen Hurts is finally getting his offensive line together. He's got Dallas Goedert. He's got A.J. Brown now. Devonta Smith's a good weapon. If Miles Sanders can stay healthy, back. And this team, big thing too. Nobody ever wins the division twice. Nobody ever wins the NFC East 2 times in a row. It just doesn't happen. So go ahead and count out the Cowboys on this year. They'll still probably make the playoffs, but they're not going to win the division. So that automatically makes it down to 3 teams. And if you think that the Giants are winning it, you're off your rocker. And Washington might win it, but I doubt it. I mean, they still haven't worked out the quarterback position 100%. The Eagles are the only solid, ready to go 100% roster in this division that isn't the Cowboys, who won the division last year. So, like I said, they can't win it again this year. Nobody ever wins that division twice. The Eagles are the only ones that make sense here to win this division. And they made so many great offseason moves this year. They're making division winner moves right now. Their defense is stacking up more. Their offense is stacking up more. Listen, I got a friend named Blake Zender, and believe me, I'm the first person who's going to crap on the Eagles if I get a chance to mess with him. But I'm telling you right now, this is a good squad.
You know what? This Philadelphia Eagles team is going to be a lot like Blake Zender's Jeep. It's going to be stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to, because this Eagles team is just I'm telling you, it's Jalen Hurts is their quarterback and Gardner Minshew is their backup. They are destined to be no more than a 6 to 7 win team. They might sneak in an extra one in there and get you to 8, but they are not that team. They are not that good. Jalen Hurts is not that guy. And you can say if Miles Sanders stays healthy, yes, he has Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert is one of the best tight ends in the game. Top 5 tight end for sure. As a matter of fact, he's on my top 5 tight ends list.
Which was terrible, by the way.
I love A.J. Brown. I love Devontae Smith.
Was Cole Kmet in that top 5 as well?
I don't love Jalen Hurts throwing the ball, because Jalen Hurts has a propensity to throw the ball more to the defense than he does to his own team.
He definitely has had some inaccuracy issues in the past. I 100% agree with that, but it's just like this team is stacking up so well that I think he's going to work through those things. I really do. Plus, he's getting
Do you think he's going to get better on your why? Because he's got better wide receivers? That's great. You can have all the wide receivers you want if you can't hit them.
Well, I mean, okay.
Okay, so
your wide receivers aren't getting open either.
Wyatt, let me tell you how to defeat this topic right here. Combs, you know who else threw a lot of interceptions his first couple years of his career? Peyton Manning.
No, Jesus. Here we go.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
There is a chance.
Oh, you know, because you have that exact. That's the same exact argument that for my guy Jameis Winston, and you dismiss that when I say it. Now, because it supports your argument, now you want to use it. And it's supposed to help.
Well, that also wasn't his 5th year in the league. It was his 1st and 2nd year in the league. But I digress from that. Speaking of first-year quarterbacks and the – what's that? I'm sorry, Combs. What did you say?
I said I would backpedal from that, too.
No, well, I was trying to transition here in the biz. That's what we call it, a transition. You set it up and I knock it down, and it was a perfect transition until you opened your mouth again. But we digress from that. So the first if and then statement that we had last night was if Desmond Ridder starts for Atlanta, then Combs, you said they go 0-17.
Yeah.
Why?
I think they're a 1-16 team as it is, and I think that Desmond Ridder is not ready to be an NFL starting quarterback. I think Desmond Ridder can develop over a couple of years of sitting behind a solid backup, but he's got Marcus Mariota, so that's going to be troublesome in itself. This Atlanta Falcons team, to me, got a lot worse at the quarterback position over the offseason. I think that Desmond Ridder is not the answer. I don't think he is a franchise quarterback. I think he can be one of those guys that, maybe develops over time into something that is pliable, but I think he's one of those quarterbacks that's destined to be like a Nick Foles type, who is just always one of those quarterbacks who can come in and get you 2 or 3 games on the fly, but is not a guy that's going to be able to start 16 to 17 games for you.
Is Nick Foles a Super Bowl champion?
He is.
Okay, just making sure. Wyatt?
How many start that season?
What's that?
How many games did he start that season?
It was he came in week 13 or 14, so
yeah, he was what?
No, they were 11-1 whenever he got hurt.
Yeah, so week 13 he came in, so there's 3, that's 7-8 games.
Right, so that makes him what? A very pliable backup.
Yeah.
What he was. He was a backup, somebody that they could use. Really good, come in and get you a bunch of...
Touchdown Tommy. We cannot start this sacrilegious whatever we're doing right now of Nick Foles. He beat Touchdown Tommy in the Super Bowl. He carried the Philadelphia Eagles there.
He was Big Dick Nick for about 5 straight games. What do you? I mean, that's what he
for
did.
8 games. He was so good. He was so good. It was so crazy too.
Go back and look. He was not that good heading into the playoffs.
Well,
yes,
because
he had like a 6 touchdown game.
Oh my God. They played the Jaguars that game.
It doesn't matter. He threw 6 touchdowns. That's an NFL record.
the Jaguars were good back then.
6 touchdowns against the Jaguars too.
You get to think about that was 2016 when they won that Super Bowl.
No, that's 2016. That's a good Jags team.
Yeah, that was a
they
good
have
Jaguars
Miles Jack.
team.
They have Jalen Ramsey. They have actually AJ Bouye as well. That is a stack. That's Saxonville right there. Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
They had a great team that won 4 games.
Okay.
Cool.
Still,
That team went to the AFC Championship.
They did not.
Yes, they did. They lost to Brady in the AFC Championship. I swear to God. The same year that the Eagles went on and played the Vikings. I swear, I promise.
Well, then they played some other shitty team when he threw for 6 touchdowns. It was not
So let me address some of these comments here, throwing through the chat here. So Jameson pops in and says, week number 1, Niners at the Chicago Bears. That should be a pretty intriguing game, don't you guys think?
Yeah.
No,
the
Bears are gonna...
schedule released.
Yeah, released an hour ago. We will talk about that next week for sure. So Combs, you're saying that the Niners are going to walk all over the Bears week 1?
Yeah, the Bears aren't going to be good this year at all. They're going to be a 5 to 6 win team at most. They're in rebuild mode. They're rebuilding, which is very rare around a rookie quarterback that you drafted and you moved up to draft. Usually you try to get good quick, and the Bears have gone a different route with it, and they're rebuilding it, but they're rebuilding around them. It's going to be a down year for the Bears. So,
they are rebuilding to trade them.
When they play good teams, they might. But when you play good teams this year, I mean, they're going to be abysmal. I don't have much expectation. What I want to see is some growth out of Justin Fields. I want to see him develop. I want to see, some growth out of some of the younger players that we've picked up. I want to see some growth from Cole Kmet. I want to see growth from Justin Fields. I want to see, there's a lot of things that you want to see from the younger players, from the future of this team, the players that are going to be around when you're ready to be good again, which is probably in about 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, only time will tell, but I do think Justin Fields will be good.
Guys.
Yeah.
What?
I just hopped on here real quick while you all were bantering back and forth to check the Packers' schedule, and guess what?
They're going to win 7 games.
That's not a factual statement. They played Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay in Florida on my birthday.
Oh.
Oh boy, are you going?
I'm totally going. I was looking at the schedule and I saw something that we were playing the Dolphins on Christmas Day, which we are in Miami. But I didn't realize we played the Bucks here on my birthday, 2 hours away. I am totally going to that game.
There you go.
100%.
When's your birthday?
September 26th.
September 26th?
Yeah.
Hey, Buck, we need to take a road trip September 26th to Tampa Bay.
We could probably make that happen because that's Cindy's birthday month too. So
Sweet.
I would definitely have a hall pass. So the next comment that I want to address, a person says the 49ers should trade Jimmy G to Atlanta Falcons for Calvin Ridley, and he does know that Calvin Ridley is out all year. That's not going to happen.
No.
They drafted a quarterback, and they traded for a quarterback, right?
Yeah, but I mean, look, you drafted Desmond Ridder, and you signed freaking Mariota. If you traded for Jimmy G, sure, but one of those guys is going in that trade, and I don't think you're getting Calvin Ridley. In that,
Calvin Ridley is a new Josh Gordon, but with gambling.
No, he's not.
Instead of pot.
No, Calvin Ridley is very. The spending him was stupid too.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Why can't I say that? Like, gambling is a highly addictive thing, and now he's highly addicted to gambling, and he's not going to be playing for a full year, so why not gamble now?
He is not highly addicted to gambling. He's got enough money to where he can gamble if he wants.
Hey, you know who else had a lot of money that could gamble? Michael Jordan. What happened to his dad? Michael Jordan got his dad killed.
Oh my God! Fuck.
Let's go.
Is that too soon? Or,
Hey, no. I'm not gonna lie. I've always kind of thought that like there was something with that. I've always thought that because it is weird how his father passed away. Obviously, God rest his soul. You know, it's a horrible thing, and it's awful for Mike. But I don't know, man. It's oddly convenient that at the time that Michael supposedly owed a lot of money with gambling, his father is found dead in a swamp in a car, just randomly, with no signs of suicide.
On a two-lane blacktop with no streetlights too.
I'm just saying, that's weird. That's very weird. Combs said, that's it.
So apparently, Wyatt, you and Drew had the same birthday. So birthday twinsies.
No way.
Hey.
Let's go.
Also, so September is what? May, June, July, August, September. So Combs, if we're going to Tampa in September, are you going to mail the glove before or after September?
I'll bring it with me.
Okay. I'm just making sure. So make sure. So are we taking your truck or mine?
Wait.
Just talk about Michael Jordan. I ain't sending.
What'd you say? You cut out.
I cannot wait for September. And good.
Somebody talk.
Unbelievable.
You go, Combs.
I said the way you guys talked about Michael Jordan, I ain't sending you nothing.
You are right. You are not sending him anything because you're driving down there and giving it to him personally. That's
Nope.
right. He said Ridley only gambled $1,500 and he wasn't active when he was on leave. So just because it's $1,500, that doesn't mean you're addicted, right? I don't know. Just saying. $20 is $20, right, Combs? If you know, you know.
How many times have you hung out with Calvin Ridley?
Twice, I believe. Once when he was about 16, 17, and then last time when he was 22.
Okay. And so those two times make you very aware of whether or not he's addicted to gambling.
But I do believe his dad is still alive, so he's not that addicted yet.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But Combs,
that's so
thanks
bad.
for being on, man. How did you feel about the if and then segment, Combs?
Wait.
Yeah.
You're not even going to address the comment that I said that the Chiefs aren't making the playoffs.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I was about to say that was the one where I was dumbfounded on.
Yeah. So, well, so I believe the if and then statement was if the Kansas City Chiefs don't make the playoffs, then blank, right? And I believe people were saying because Andy Reid was forced out. And was that you that said they were forced out, Combs?
No, I said it's because it's par for the course because they're not.
Right. Did we lose you?
No, I'm here.
Oh.
I said they're not in the playoffs.
But why? Like, why do you think that is?
Because this division got better and they got worse.
How did they get worse? They traded Tyreek Hill, which is starting to become cancer in the locker room. They got 6 picks. Why is going to tell me here in about 5-10 minutes that they got an A+ in their draft, and they got Juju Smith, which is a great number 2 receiver to Travis Kelce.
First of all, Juju Smith-Schuster is not a wide receiver that you can rely on to be your number 1 wide receiver.
That's why I said he's a great number 2.
No, because what's going to happen is they are going to realize that they can double team Travis Kelce and do not have to double team Juju Smith-Schuster. They are going to take. Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are the 3rd best team in their own division.
See, well, I don't know though. I think that's whenever Juju plays the best though, is whenever he's a number 2. I mean, remember how dominant he was whenever him and AB played together?
Right.
That's the best Juju Smith-Schuster we ever had because he was single
They're
covered.
Juju Smith-Schuster is not that guy. Juju Smith-Schuster
I
is
don't know about all that.
what the way that as good as the Chargers got this offseason. Are you kidding me? This Chargers team is much improved, and they are
not saying that they
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they win the division. I'm just saying they make the playoffs. This is still a 10 or 11 win team. Just the problem is the winner of the AFC West is going to win 14 to 13 games. That's the problem.
The only way they get in
literally all 4 teams will probably have double-digit wins this year. They have to.
The only way they get in is if all 4 teams from the division get in. That's the only way they're.
So you're telling me that they're going to be last in the division, Combs?
Yeah, I do believe they're the worst team in this division.
Wow,
yeah.
The Denver Broncos are hands down the worst team in it, and in that division. And their star receiver Jerry Jeudy just got arrested and is being held without bond. So what the fuck did he do? Right? I mean, clearly they're not doing good things.
Buck.
What?
I'm just messing with you.
Oh,
I was waiting to hear what came out of your mouth. That's all.
I don't know. I don't know what he did because all I saw was Jerry Jeudy was arrested and being held without bond. Like I haven't read the article or like anything. So I mean, it could be as minor as he didn't pay a parking ticket in Florida, right? But obviously he did something wrong.
The Raiders are better than the Chiefs right now. That Devontae Adams pickup was huge. Putting Devontae Adams with Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller.
A 29-year-old Devontae Adams, by the way.
Derek Carr is going
very all that.
Then they got Bilal Nichols. They went out and got freaking what was the other big one? Chandler. Like this team is so good. Both of those teams, the Chargers and the Raiders, are heads and tails above the Kansas City Chiefs right now. And to me, you might be right, especially if they lose Jerry Jeudy. And for whatever, I hadn't heard that until you just said that.
Yeah, it happened within the last.
They got arrested today.
Few hours, yeah.
They are neck and neck with the Denver Broncos. The loss of Tyreek Hill changes the dynamic so much. And the thing with the Chiefs is, they're not going to be able to get better because of how much money they gave Patrick Mahomes.
No,
and Patrick Mahomes start losing weapons. We're really going to see over the next 2 seasons what Patrick Mahomes is made of.
That is where you're wrong. That is where you're wrong. It's because Patrick Mahomes' contract is all toward the end, right? So it is very backloaded. So therefore, they're going to restructure, and make it all into signing bonuses, and they're going to be able to get the players that they want / need. Yes, they did lose Tyreek Hill, but guess what? He was becoming a cancer on that team. His ego was getting too big for his britches. We drafted a guy just as good as he is in Sky Moore. Sky Moore is going to be the rookie of the year. He is going to blow people out of the water.
Yeah.
He is a dog. Sky Moore is a dog. I mean, when you have a name Sky, it's the sky's the limit, baby. Like, and then teaming up with Kelsey and McCole Hardman and Juju, and let's not forget about Josh Gordon. Still, Josh Gordon is still on that team. If Josh Gordon is a shell of himself, they are a 15-win team, Combs.
Congratulations. You drafted a guy who's named after the WNBA champion. Hey. Congratulations.
They're champions. They're champions.
You only know that because it's a Chicago team.
It's true. But look, they got on the offensive line. They got worse at wide receiver. Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdes-Scantling are not the same wide receiver as Tyreek Hill.
You're right.
Sorry,
they're better.
Oh, no. You can't be serious.
I'm not wrong.
There is zero factual-based evidence behind that at all, unless if we're calculating height.
Do you want to know the factual statement evidence there?
I won't believe you. I will not believe you.
What round was Tyreek Hill drafted in? 5th or 6th round, right?
It was the 6th. Yeah.
That is because he was above average JUCO player in Kansas. Okay, I played JUCO ball in Kansas, and I know a lot about the Kansas JUCO circuit there. And Tyreek Hill wasn't on anybody's radar. The only reason why he went to a full-year school after the fact is because he begged and pleaded. He said, "How much marijuana do you want? I got it."
Did you look at the Chiefs?
What?
They play the Cardinals, Chargers, Colts, Raiders, Bills, and Niners to start the season.
You know the whole.
Then they play there.
They will only lose at Mile High.
Bengals, Broncos, Texans, which will be a cakewalk. The Seahawks, which will be a cakewalk. They get Denver and Vegas again. This team is winning probably 8 to 9 games.
Dude, what are you guys doing right now? You guys are throwing around so much crap right now. I can't even believe what I'm hearing.
What you can believe, Kansas City Chiefs will be going back to the playoffs again.
What?
We'll be going to the Super Bowl
again. Okay, here we go. I'm going to settle all of this. The Kansas City Chiefs will be in the playoffs. They'll win at least 10 games. There's no way they're under 10 games. And if they are, then the rest of it's like a Dwight situation where the rest of the office is like, Dwight, what do we do if you die? He says, if I'm dead, all of you have been dead for weeks. If the Chiefs are dead in the playoff contention, then the rest of the league has been dead for weeks. Okay? So first off, the Chiefs are making the playoffs. Second off, there is not a wide receiver in the league other than Devontae Adams that is as good as Tyreek Hill. There's not.
That's a false statement.
Therefore, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, therefore, Juju Smith-Schuster, therefore, Sky Moore, therefore, whoever you want to mention, McCole Hardman, they're not better than Tyreek Hill. I cannot believe I'm even saying this right now.
So, hey, hear me out. Hear me out. Let me bring some logic to this conversation here, okay? Yes or no, is Patrick Mahomes a top quarterback in the league?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Is Tua a top quarterback in the league?
No.
Can Tua throw the ball 20 yards down the field?
According to that video the other day, no.
No, exactly. How did Tyreek Hill succeed running like his head cut off 55, 70 yards down the field? Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball. Tua can't. Case closed.
Tyreek Hill does a lot of stuff in the slot, in the flats and stuff like that, and does moves that people can't catch him.
He runs out of bounds after 3 yards because he doesn't want to get hit because he's a little bitch.
Hey, Wyatt.
I can't believe this. What's up, Combs?
If the Kansas City Chiefs win more than 9 games, I will dress in drag, and I will do the show for a month dressed in drag. Makeup, wig, everything. But if they win 9 or less games, you have to shave your head.
Like bald?
No, you have to. How about you have to get at least a fade?
A 3-guard.
On top?
A 2-guard. Well, you don't know what a fade is, Wyatt?
A 4-guard on top. How about that? I'll
Yeah.
give you a 4-guard on top.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, Wyatt, a 4-guard is still an inch and a half.
You're
No.
so sure.
I
How
can't.
about a
I'm
6-guard?
positive. I'm positive of it, but I'm just not betting my hair. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL next year and Chad Henne's at the helm.
Okay, let's put a disclaimer on it.
Like I'm not putting my hair on Chad Henne's back.
Well,
Are you kidding me? It's getting shaved.
let's put a disclaimer on it. If Patrick Mahomes plays 14 games or more, then the bet's on.
Well, okay, well then no, because there's still like Travis Kelce is still an influential role. If Travis Kelce gets hurt, I think
my
that takes a
God.
big dip.
Here
I'm
we
not-
Hashtag
There's
waffle in
way
the
too many
chat.
Factors. There's
Why-
way too many
recap-
factors that could go way wrong and be completely out of my control. There's way
Why-
too many factors to this.
Wyatt, repeat after me. I am
I
scared
will.
to bet hair.
No, here's what I will say. This is the most intriguing offer I've ever heard about the hair. You actually made me think about it for a second. Like we're getting closer. So
How about this?
I will applaud. I'm applauding you now, Brandon Combs.
How about this?
You made me think about it for a second.
You have to dye your hair. How
How
about
about
that?
I'll dress in drag. I will go to a drag bar where they do shows, and I will do a drag show.
Oh,
How sure the team is not winning 9 games.
For a
more than
4-guard,
that.
Wyatt. A
see,
4-guard.
I
Come on,
can't-
man.
I can't do it, but I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna be so disappointed
Hey,
whenever they do win 10 games.
Hey, Combs, does hair grow back?
It does.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
You know what doesn't? You know what doesn't go away?
You are pride after
Video-
being dressed as a woman.
Video on YouTube, and that's what would happen if I did a drag show.
Oh yeah.
Your
What would you even do? What would your performance be?
What I would let you pick the song.
Come on, Wyatt. There is no backing out of this, man. This is too good to pass up. Come on, man.
I'm gonna have you out there singing "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
No, it's came in like a wrecking ball, and he has to ride the ball in.
Firework by Katy Perry.
Drew says, Wyatt, your hair is totally worth that. Come on, man. A 4-guard, that is an inch and a half.
I can't. I can't. I can't. We're getting closer, but it's not there yet. It's not.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Do you smell that, Combs?
Yeah, I do.
I
do.
It's 100% bitch.
It's like chicken shit.
All right, Combs, we're going to let you go, man. We're going to break down the AFC West draft grade. Thanks for joining us, man. Hopefully tomorrow we're not tomorrow, but next week we're back on the mornings and we'll get that morning show happening again, or that morning call. I should say.
I'll join the rest of it in the chat, and for those of you that are still listening after all of that, you join. So you check out Belly Up Sports, where I'm writing articles for the Chicago sports teams out here. Got a couple of good articles up, so make sure you guys check it out.
Yeah. So Wyatt, people are not happy with you in the chat. I'm just going to leave it like that.
Sorry.
And then Alpha Rob says, "How about Raining Men, Combs?"
I would whatever.
That's a great song.
I would do. I don't care what song it is.
All right.
I do before
Let's
he
get a little
cheats,
closer
I
to
can't-
let's get a little closer to the NFL season. How about that? Then we'll revisit this.
We'll revisit.
So
it.
do you
just
want
put
to
a
hedge your
pin in
bet?
it.
But see, look,
I'm kind of
the longer
disappointed
you
in myself as it is right now, but I don't know. It can't be worth it.
The longer you wait, the worse the bet gets. That's all I'm saying. I won't do as much the longer you wait.
Yeah. All right, Combs. We'll talk to you next week, man.
All right, we'll talk to you later, Wyatt. I'm going to dress in drag and play some softball with your glove.
All right.
All right, later, bub.
Bye.
All right, guys, that is our man, BC Combs. Be sure to follow him on Twitter at @manhour_Combs, right there over there on the old Twitter machine. So, Wyatt, it is that special time of night where we jump into actual football talk, actual knowledge, actual logic, actually putting a number to the bean counters out there, right? So the AFC West has been arguably going to be probably one of the toughest divisions out there, and this division got much, much better in the offseason as we were talking about, and the draft didn't follow suit. How did the Denver Broncos do in this year's draft?
Well, the Denver Broncos, I thought, did a pretty good job. Although their first pick was essentially spent on Russell Wilson. So right there, I think they traded for a great quarterback, and that right there just boosts their draft grade up for me automatically. But then after that, in round 2, pick 64, they got Nick Bonitto, edge out of Oklahoma. And this guy is a killer off the edge. Killer with a capital K. This guy is crazy. His presence in the backfield is always known. He's a wrecking ball when it comes to getting into the backfield. And you add him with already the Chubb is there, Randy Gregory that's already there. I mean, this is already a stacked defense. Adding him on top of the fact that the offense added a incredible quarterback who is great at the game of football and is going to succeed very well, I believe, with this team. I think they really did great for round 2, which was their first pick. So then at round 3, they got who I think is the best, you heard me, the best tight end in this draft, Greg Dulcich, tight end out of UCLA. They just got rid of Noah Fant. So this team already needed a tight end. They were already down one right there. So I was expecting them to take a tight end early, and I thought Dulcich was going to be their guy. And sure enough, it ended up being Dulcich is a really great tight end who's got awesome vertical threat skills. His route running is really well. I mean, he doesn't drop a ball. If it hits him in the hands, he's going to catch it. He also adds to your blocking side, and he's not the biggest, but at the same time, he's just a really good blocker for his size. So I really like Dulcich, that round 3 pick there, and I really like the round 2 as well above it. Now moving on to round 4, Damari Mathis and Ioma Uwazurike. I cannot say his last name. Cornerback out of Pittsburgh and defensive tackle out of Iowa. Thought they did a really good job here in the 4th round, just continuing to pad that defense, which is something they always do. They're always adding to the defense, and they started with the exact same thing in the 5th round with DeLauren Turner-Yell, safety out of Oklahoma. And I also like their theme that they went with here. They went with a lot of guys who have either played together on the same team or played together in the Senior Bowl or the East-West Shrine Bowl. A lot of these guys really spent a lot of time together and already started creating those bonds. So I like that they did that as well. Then they got Montrell Washington, wide receiver out of Samford, just adding to the wide receiver depth here, especially now we don't know what's going on with Jerry Jeudy. So this could be a influential pick considering that they already have Tim Patrick, who will have to step up, and Cortland Sutton as well. Then they get Luke Wattenberg, center out of Washington. This offensive line group was really deep, and this is just another guy who comes in round 5 and could, in a couple of years, end up being a starter for this team. So I like that pick as well. Then moving down to round 6, Matt Henningsen, defensive tackle out of Wisconsin. And still same with the last pick as well with Fan Hicks. They're just continuing to add to the defensive tackle and cornerback rooms, which was something that they needed to do. So with that being said, they filled a lot of holes that they had, including the quarterback spot, which was done through trade. And then my overall grade for them, I'm going to give them a B+. I thought they did a really solid job overall. And their best pick was Greg Dulcich, tight end out of UCLA in the 3rd round. And that's really tough for me to say because Nick Bonitto is a really good candidate as well. And I think that both of these guys could be like sleeper offensive and defensive rookie of the year candidates. Sleeper, I don't know 100%, but those could be 2 of my sleeper pick guys, my day 2 guys who could sneak up and steal an award like that, almost like Alvin Kamara did a couple of seasons ago with the Saints.
Yeah, so as you had me until you told me that Russell Wilson was an upgrade for the Denver Broncos in this year's draft. Russell Wilson is arguably one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL. I actually have him as my third overrated quarterback.
He's still better than Drew Lock.
Is he though?
Yes, he is. I cannot even believe I'm saying this right now. He is light years better than him. Like if you took Russell Wilson and chopped him in half, he would still be a better quarterback than Drew Lock.
See, this is the problem: is we haven't seen really a full season of Drew Lock. Let's say Russell Wilson's 33 years old, right? 32, 33 years old, right? And Drew Lock is 26, right? So let's say Drew Lock is even a step behind Russ, right? Drew Lock still has so much more time in the NFL to get better than Russ. And I think the Denver Broncos made a mistake by now. I'm not saying Drew Lock is a franchise quarterback right now, but I'm saying they gave up way too much for Russ when they could have waited till right now and got Baker. Baker Mayfield is better than Russ on the Denver Broncos team.
What is your hard on with Baker Mayfield right now? I mean, I am pushing for him to go somewhere else and play and be good, but it's like every night when we do these, you make some kind of a case that a team needs to trade for him.
Because they do. They do. I mean, like at this point, the Denver Broncos could offer the Cleveland Browns a 6th-round pick. They would probably jump at it, and Baker Mayfield would start over Russ week 1. All right. Speaking of week 1 and winning a lot of games, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to definitely win more than 10 games this season, and I think they did a great job in the draft. But White is the real great expert here. He is very lenient on his grades, but I feel he's going to draft him hard. But how the Chiefs do?
Chiefs did really good. Chiefs did a really good job, I thought. Round 1, they had 2 first-round picks. Round 1, pick 21. They got Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington, a could-be possible sleeper candidate for the best cornerback in this draft. I'm not saying that he is. I think Sauce Gardner probably will be, but this is a sleeper pick for that. So they added to the defense, which has already in the past kind of been a little shaky at times. That's always been the knock for this Kansas City team, was their defense. Clearly, it wasn't the offense. But they add Trent McDuffie as well as George Karlaftis, edge out of Purdue. And Karlaftis is, I think, might be better than Trayvon Walker. I really do. I think that there's a shot that this guy ends up being better than the number 1 overall pick in this draft. And I think it's a real possibility. I don't even think it's like one of those things like, oh, well, things have to not work out, for Trayvon and they have to go perfectly for George Karlaftis. I don't even think it's that. I just think it's like, he's on a better team. Karlaftis is on a better team with a better coaching staff, with a better team environment, with a better fan base, with a better everything. I mean, just everything around him is better. He's on a Super Bowl caliber team. So that right there gives him a huge push versus being in Jacksonville. So Karlaftis there to close out the first round. I absolutely loved their first rounds. I thought they had one of the best first rounds in the league. Starting off in the second round, they lost speed. They lost Cheetah, the number 1 speed guy in the league. So what did they do? They replaced him with the number 1 speed guy possibly in this draft in Sky Moore, wide receiver out of Western Michigan.
Facts, baby.
He is a slot wide receiver who is incredibly fast, can also help you in the return game, can be a deep threat, can run post routes really, really well. I mean, that's my favorite route that he does is the post, the way he cuts inside of the safeties and how fast he is. Really impressed with his movements. Also, Brian Cook, safety out of Cincinnati. The Cincinnati defense was an incredible, sleeper defense in college football last year, and this was just another key piece to that Bearcat defense. I mean, obviously, Ahmad Sauce Gardner was the best defensive player on that team, and he was the best DB on that team. But I thought Brian Cook was a very close second for best defensive player on that defense, possibly. So Brian Cook, safety out of Cincinnati, there in the second round. Once again, loved the second round. Now we go on to the third. Leo Chenal, linebacker out of Wisconsin, another solid guy. He can come off the edge. He can play middle for you. So just a system guy who's a plug-and-play player. You can throw him anywhere. And then fourth round, Joshua Williams, cornerback, Fayetteville State. So just adding to the cornerback depth there and the rest of the picks pretty much just depth fillers as well. Darian Kennard, offensive guard out of Kentucky. A solid offensive lineman who in a couple of years could start. And then as we look down into round 7, they got 2 corners and a running back being Jalen Watson and Nazeeh Johnson are the 2 corners out of Washington State and Marshall, as well as Isaiah Pacheco, running back out of Rutgers. And he is obviously a good running back, runs the ball really well downhill. So for a 7th round pick, I was pretty impressed with what he does. So yeah, I thought they did a really good job, and their best pick for me was round 2, pick 54. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm going to change it last minute. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to go with their first round pick because this was their best pick. Round 1, pick 30, George Karlaftis, edge out of Purdue. I think he's a day 1 impact guy on any team in the NFL, and the Chiefs got a real steal with this guy. He should have been, in my opinion, I thought a top 15 prospect, but he just fell, and the Chiefs ended up snagging who could be one of the best players out of this draft. So really impressed with their picks. Karlaftis was their best pick, and their grade for me. Buck said earlier I was going to give them an A+. I am not going to give them an A+, but I'm going to give them an A. So there you go.
That is satisfactory. But let me tell you a little bit about Sky Moore, Wyatt. I have an inside source that played Sky Moore or played against Sky Moore in the MAC last season, and he went off for them for 6 touchdowns in that game. Isaac Hatfield said this is the fastest human being he has ever seen, ever. Now, that's saying something because you know your boy, Winkers, right? Pretty damn fast, right? He said he made Winkers look slow. Sky Moore is going to be a beast to reckon with. He is going to pick up Tyreek Hill just fine.
At this moment, he may be faster than Winkers, but give Wink some time.
Yeah,
Don't you worry.
I saw Wink in the spring game.
He was ridiculous, wasn't he?
He was mowing over grown ass men.
Dude, he's he puts a smile on my face when he runs the ball. I mean, he's exciting. And
does
he's
he
gonna be,
ever get mad?
No. I swear to God, he is the most level-headed. Like when it comes to playing football, he just keeps the levelest head I've ever seen. He doesn't freak out about things. It's just and I can tell you from personally being his friend and playing with him on the field as well. He's an incredible teammate. And Illinois State got one heck of a running back, and a lot of teams are really going to regret in the next 2 years not going after him, especially
they might regret this year.
Some that I won't say the names of that pulled offers at the very end and did some stuff they shouldn't have. They're going to regret that. They're really, really, really going to regret that. And Winkers is going to be, and the best part is he doesn't even know. Like I've talked to him about it, and he has no clue really that he's that good. Like I've got to spend a lot of time. I worked with the IHSA broadcasting and stuff, so I got to spend a lot of time all over Indiana calling basketball games, and Indiana has some of the best basketball in the world for high school ranks. So I got to see all kinds of athletes, and when athletes are good, they know it. And you can just see it in them. They know it, they believe it, and all that stuff. And Winkers believes he's good, but he doesn't know how good he is. You can just tell. He has no clue that he's this freak monster running back that's insane. And I just, like I said, it puts a smile on my face every time he runs the ball. I love it.
The only person that I can really compare him to, honestly, is King Henry, because he is a north and south guy. And if he puts on about 30 pounds, look out. Watch out.
Well, he's already up to I think he's at 205, something like that right now, 210.
Yeah. You put about 230 on
40
him.
Down to Yeah, and he's still got the 40 down to sub 4.4.
Yeah.
I mean, he moves.
Crazy.
He moves, and when he lowers his shoulder, you saw it in the spring game. I mean, there's some pop. There's some power behind that. It's not like power that you're ready for. He hits you, and you're like, wow, that was crazy.
We need to get him on the show. Anyways, moving on to the next team here, and that is going to be the LA Chargers here. Chargers made some good offseason moves. They picked up Khalil Mack, and Justin Herbert is probably a top 3 quarterback in the NFL going into this year 100%. But why? How they do in the draft, that's all that matters.
I thought really everybody in this group did a pretty solid job in the AFC West, and they were no different, obviously. At pick 17 in round 1, they got Zion Johnson, offensive lineman out of Boston College, one of the more underrated linemen in this draft, and I think he's going to be a great pair with Christian Darrisaw, who they picked up last year. So they're really building a protective offensive line around Justin Herbert, and they've got him weapons. So really be careful for this team. I mean, they're adding defensive specialists too, so it's like, really, this team is doing some crazy things. They're getting really good. So that right there was a huge pick for me. I loved that. After that, they get JT Woods, safety out of Baylor. In the 3rd round, they did not have a 2nd-round pick. So I like JT Woods as well. He swarms the field. He's a ball hawk. He can also help you on the run support side. So I like him in the 3rd round. In the 4th round, Isaiah Spiller, running back out of Texas A&M. The Chargers have always been known for having a good running back around, and right now they have Austin Eckler, and Isaiah Spiller is going to fill in really nicely whenever he comes off the field, and eventually maybe it'll be his job once Eckler runs out of gas or retires. Who knows? 5th round, they got Otito Ogbonnia. I, once again, can't say that last name. Defensive tackle out of UCLA. Just another depth guy there, somebody just to throw into the defense whenever you need him. And in the 6th round, they got Jamari Sailor, offensive lineman out of Georgia, national champion, won a lot of games. I believe he did not allow more than 3 sacks his entire college career or something like that. I saw a stat on that earlier about him. And so Jamari Sailor is a good offensive lineman, still continuing to just add to this. And the cool thing about Jamari as well is he is not a offensive tackle, offensive guard. He's just an offensive lineman. He's a plug and play guy. He can play at guard. He can play at tackle on the right or left side, maybe even at center. So I really like Jamari Sailor and that pick out of Georgia, as well as Jasir Taylor, defensive back out of Wake Forest. Just another guy who can play really anywhere on the field. Same with Dean Leonard out of Ole Miss, can play anywhere on the field. Then they come in and they get Xander Orvath, running back out of Purdue. And a couple of years ago, Raheem Mostert came out of Purdue and got drafted late in the draft and ended up having a really good career. And I think Xander Horvath could go on to have that too. So they really added to the running back room, adding more offensive linemen as well, defensive linemen, and DBs. So this was really just a depth draft, and I think that the Chargers understood that, and so they went out and got depth at all the positions they needed depth at. So with that being said, thought they did a really good job. I'm going to give them a solid B on their draft grade. And their best pick for me.
Give him that running back.
God, I'm gonna do it again. The reason why I just struggled for a second is because I told myself I wasn't gonna keep doing it, but I'm going to right here. He's the best player they got. Zion Johnson, first rounder, pick 17, offensive lineman out of Boston College. He's the best pickup they got.
Yeah, like I was looking through the colleges, of like who is producing the most NFL players and like all that stuff, just out of curiosity. Purdue has secretly produced a lot of NFL players that are really good, that are like flying under the radar type thing. Yeah. Drew Brees. I'm talking about Rondale Moore for the Cardinals. Like I think he is going to explode. Karlaftis. Yeah, I mean,
he's going to do really good this year.
Like I don't know what they're putting in the water up there in Purdue, but they're doing something right. And
up there in West Lafayette.
Yeah. So congratulations to those guys. Speaking of something in the water, there is obviously something in the water in Vegas, because it seems like everybody wants to go there right now, including Davante Adams. And just like the rest of the AFC West, they did a lot of work in the offseason. But how'd they do in the draft, Wyatt?
Well, what they had to work with in the draft, they did pretty good. They traded away their second round pick and got Davante Adams. He's the best wide receiver in the NFL. It's just that simple. He's already got chemistry with their quarterback. While he is 29 and probably only has 2 years left of his prime, he's still Davante Adams. He's still ridiculous. And if him and Carr can get on the same page that Aaron Rodgers and him were on, which I could totally see it happening because they had that connection in college at Fresno State, if they can get on board with that early, this team's going to win a lot of football games and a lot of really important football games. So right there off the bat, I gave them a huge boost up because they got Davante with that first and second round pick. After that, in the third round, they got Dylan Parham, offensive guard out of Memphis. This offensive line needed some padding, and they did that. They added him as well. In the fourth round, they got Zamir White, running back out of Georgia. This is a pretty interesting signing because I actually think Zamir is going to get a lot of touches this year, because Josh Jacobs' rookie deal is coming to an end, and they're not 100% sure if they want to sign him again. So this could be like hey, let's hand that Zamir guy the ball a couple of times and see how well he runs the ball. If he runs the ball pretty good, we know that we don't have to pay Josh Jacobs the, $10, $20 million he's going to be looking for. So Zamir White, actually look for him to be a guy who could get some impact moments this year, as well as Neil Farrell. He's a defensive tackle out of LSU, and same with Matthew Butler in the fifth round, just adding some more depth at defensive line. Here's the big one. You ready for this? The sleeper pick of the draft for me came for the Las Vegas Raiders. Round 7, pick 238, Thayer Munford Jr., offensive tackle out of Ohio State. I was stunned that he went in the 7th round. I was so stunned. I just absolutely... I could not believe that he made it past the 4th round, honestly. I was kind of shocked that he made it past the 3rd round. This is a guy, he is massive. He's a massive offensive lineman, and he is going to make an impact on this team. Teams will be sorry that they let Thayer Munford drop in this draft like this and let him go in the 7th round. This is a huge mistake. I was just, I just keep on saying it because I was just so confused. as to how he kept falling like that. Thayer Munford is a great offensive tackle who I think is going to have a really nice NFL career with the Las Vegas Raiders and whoever else he plays for if he decides to leave. So after that, then they got Britton Brown, running back out of UCLA, just still testing the waters on these running backs here. Britton Brown, maybe another guy who could get some touches. I don't think he'll get as much as White does, unless if they get into training camp and OTAs and he's, they're handing him the ball and they're like, oh, wait, okay, this guy's actually a dude. So unless if that happens, then I doubt that he gets as many touches as Amir will. So with that being said, their overall draft grade for me was a B+, and I gave their best pick was easy to me. It was round 7, pick 238, and Thayer Munford, offensive tackle out of Ohio State.
Yeah, that guy was definitely a steal. I got a chance to watch him a couple games last season, and I was really blown away by, just like what you said, like how much he dropped in the draft. But with that, is it a common theme for old Packers receivers to go to the Raiders? Because I was just thinking about this. Jordy went there, and now Devontae. Like, is it going to start to become a trend?
James Jones too.
Yeah, James Jones means shit.
James Jones. I will say, weird. I don't know. Maybe it does. Jordy did go to Seattle first and then headed down there after. So I don't know though. That I didn't even think about that until you just said that. Now, I mean, I guess it could be a thing. I mean, we got.
I didn't know Jordy went to Seattle.
Yeah, I think he went to. Did he go to Seattle first?
I don't think so. I thought he went straight to it was Oakland, right, at the time. I'm pretty sure it was just Oakland.
I know he finished his career.
He played, I think, a year or two after that, but you can definitely tell he was pretty washed up after that torn ACL.
Yeah. Oh no, he did just go to Oakland. I guess did he sign with the Chiefs and then get cut? Why did I think he went to the Chiefs? I could have swore I remembered him going to the Chiefs.
No,
the Seahawks. Seahawks, my bad.
I was wanting him to go to the Chiefs, play for the hometown team, but I don't know about the Seahawks.
No, that was my bad. Yeah. Never mind. But
it's all good.
Still, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we are going to take our first break of the night. On the other side of the break, we're going to break down the NFC West draft grades and time pending. We got Weddle still. My bad. So
we gotta play Weddle.
Weddle is coming. So we got about 45 minutes left in the show here, guys. But we gotta take a break. I gotta take a poo. Chinese is killing me. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Hey, gang! It's Commissioner Cooper from TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people. We give the people what they want. Expert fantasy advice, leading medical and legal analysis, free contests, and innovative games to keep you entertained. Watch us live with the Tiki Live app on the Belly Up Sports channel, subscribe to us on YouTube, or follow us on all social media platforms. Visit TSSFantasy.com today for all the latest updates from the fantasy show of the people. We put the fun in fantasy.
I use mayo over sour cream, yeah.
Right. That's because you have high cholesterol. Okay. If you drafted Julio Jones,
you got ghosted.
This is amazing. TSS Fantasy is like an orgasm. If I had a cigarette, I'd smoke it. I'm pumped to be here. The show of shows.
The fantasy show of the people.
Invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, it's working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Go! To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break my
Check
the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhosh along with the Wyatt Williams. What's that?
I didn't know you came back. I thought the music just started. I was like, well, it looks like I'm starting here. And go,
no, I'm back. It was definitely a power poo there. But no wipe needed. It was straight solid that time. I was pretty happy. That was the first solid poo since about 2 o'clock. Why are you turning so red, man? Like, do you not?
First off, there's so many things in that statement. You haven't had a solid poop since 2 o'clock. How many times do you poop a day?
Well, today I had Chinese, so this is my 5th time exploding the toilet apart. Like, yeah, it was hands down the best Chinese I've ever had. But
see, that's the worst.
I've probably lost 5 pounds at least today.
You after,
right?
It's always the best Chinese to get you after. It can never be like, and the bad stuff gets you too, but it's always the best stuff where you actually enjoy the food. You're like, oh my god, that was so good. Then you get home and your stomach's like, making all these crazy noises.
Wyatt, I drove 10 minutes to the Chinese place. I ate, right, and it was a 10-minute drive.
Which one did you go to?
China Garden. Or Chinese Garden or whatever. It's Preston Highway down by Churchill Downs. But
okay, you're way out there.
Yeah. I work right across from the street from UPS. But I stopped at the stoplight and I thought I was going to have to hang my butt out of the car. Like, that's how fast it hit me. It's like, boom. I'm going to dominate your butthole for the next 4 hours of your life. Man, it was so bad, Wyatt. Like, there are certain things that I would like to enjoy in life, and wiping my butt till it bleed is not one of them. Like, I just don't enjoy it at all. Like, it sucks. I mean, like, I'm going to probably have to poo again here in about an hour. And I'm definitely going to be using some baby wipes because the toilet paper is like, I think I got a dingleberry in there that's just hanging just right because, like, I can feel it and I got to, like, itch it.
Okay,
you know?
all right, we're good. We're good. Thumbs up.
All righty, guys.
Thumbs
It
up.
is time to get back into some NFL talk here. And we have broke down all 7 divisions, so that leaves us 1 division left. And this is arguably one of the toughest divisions. Actually, Wyatt, the West in general is going to be super, super tough. So starting with a team that started very, very hot last season and then fizzled out, that's the Arizona Cardinals. Wyatt, how'd they do in the draft?
Well, first off, I would like to say I feel like I've been pretty easy on a lot of these teams on their drafts.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, this division right here is the one where I'm not going to be easy because only one team and this division got better in this draft. Every other team did jack squat, nothing, nada. And starting with the Arizona Cardinals, with round 2, pick 55, they did not have a first-round pick. They got Trey McBride, tight end out of Colorado State, the probably 4th or 5th best tight end in this draft. And I don't really even think they needed a tight end that much. I mean, they possibly needed some depth, but I don't think McBride is what you needed there. I think there's plenty of other things like offensive line, some defensive positions to add to here for this team. But they went with a tight end. I was really kind of scratching my head there on that one. And on top of that, they went with a tight end that I think Trey McBride will have a nice NFL career, but he's definitely not the best tight end in this draft, in my opinion. So right there off the bat, they're already 1 step down. And they did acquire Marquise Brown. So that was nice, and like I said, I'll give him a bump up for that. But they also I'm looking here. They re-upped their contract with Max Williams, their tight end. I just saw that. So there was no point for that pick. Now that I didn't even know they got Max Williams back. So there was no point for it. So anyway, so moving on here, they got Cameron Thomas and Myjai Sanders, edges out of San Diego State and Cincinnati. 2 guys who are good, but still I just didn't think were the best guys there. I think that Sanders is better than Thomas, and Sanders went 13 picks after. So with that being said, I wasn't really impressed with their first or second round. Their second or third round. Then they wait till round, and then they don't have another pick till round 6, which they got Keontae Ingram, running back out of USC, and Lecitus Smith, offensive guard out of Virginia Tech. I do like Smith. I think Smith could be influential for this team, and I think in a couple of years he could be a starter for this team. Because like I said, I know I've said it 100 times. I'm going to keep saying it. This offensive line draft was really deep, and I think that he is a really good offensive lineman. And Ingram is not terrible, but once again, I just really didn't think that they needed that much running back depth, and I didn't think that this was the right guy. I think they should have signed a different veteran maybe to add to their group. Then they go with Christian Matthew, DB out of Valdosta State, Jesse Lukita, linebacker out of Penn State, and Marquise Hayes, offensive guard out of Oklahoma. All those in the 7th round. Just depth guys, but still kind of felt like it was a little bit of a reach on a couple of them. I don't mind Hayes. Lukita's okay, but I really felt like Matthew was kind of a reach. I didn't expect him to get drafted. So with that being said, I really was not impressed with their draft. I was going to give them a D, but because they at least traded and got Marquise Brown, I'll give them a C-.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing that saved them was that trade on draft night, which surprised everybody, right? But that was definitely the theme of the draft was trade. So when you are 11-6 and you are a first-round playoff exit, you need to do better in this draft, and they didn't. So unfortunately, Arizona fans, this sucks for them. But why? So moving on to the next team here, it is the LA Rams. They are the Super Bowl champions. They finished 12-5 last season. And how'd they do in the draft?
Well, the Los Angeles Rams, once again, this wasn't the team that I was saying had a really good draft. So that leaves it down to 2. It's either the Niners or the Seahawks, and I won't say just yet. But with that being said, I really just wasn't huge on this draft either. I didn't think they did anything crazy. They didn't have a first or second round pick, obviously, because they traded for Matt Stafford. So accounting that in, I give them a bump up for that because they got a Super Bowl out of it. So bang, right there, they're up a little bit. But their draft after was just average or bad at every single pick that there was nothing else I could really go off of. Bruss in round 3, Durant in round 4, and Williams in round 5. I felt like all were stretches. Should have been picked. All of them should have been shifted one round down in their picks. Then round 6, Quentin Lake, safety out of UCLA. Wasn't a big fan of the safety pick there. I didn't really think that they needed to get him. And then cornerback, Darian Kendrick out of Georgia. Still just didn't think that there was a cornerback needed there. And then in the 7th round, I really thought their best pick was the 261 in 7th round, A.J. Arcuri, offensive tackle out of Michigan. And then, I take that back. Daniel Hardy, edge out of Montana State. I liked a couple of the Montana State guys this year, and this was one of them. So I will say they did have that. That'll be my best pick for them. My best pick is Daniel Hardy. But overall, still just kind of wasn't a bad draft, but it was just an average draft. It wasn't like there was nothing, that stuck out to me here with their draft class. So with that being said, I'm giving them a C on this, just average, not a little above average, not below average, just a C average. So yeah, and then like I said, their best pick for me is it's Daniel Hardy.
Yeah, so the one thing about this draft for the Rams is I did like their defensive picks because their defense is very old. It's a very aging defense, so they are going to have to start plugging and playing some of those players at some point. I think the average age on the defensive side is 29, and that's old in the NFL. So they definitely start to rebuild. And I mean, I'm not saying it was a splash draft by any means, but they definitely added some depth and some pieces that they'll use 2-3 years down the road. So they do got that going for them. So the next team in the division here is the San Francisco 49ers. They are a 10-7 team regular season, but when Jimmy G is healthy, they're a damn good playoff team, and they make it to the NFC Championship. Deebo Samuel's won it out. He's still on the teams. Draft is over, but why? How'd they do it in the draft?
Well, first off, in the 2nd round, they went with pick 61. They got Drake Jackson, edge out of USC. And while I get it, the Niners are great at developing these defensive line talents. I get all that. And I thought this was a good pick. I thought that he'll add nicely to their defense. I still just didn't think that was the right pick. Next, there's this is really where I got confused with this draft was Tyrion Davis-Price. When are the 49ers going to stop drafting running backs? When is going to be enough? They have Elijah Mitchell. They haven't even given Trey Sermon a shot yet. I mean, this team, are they going to continue adding running backs every single year? It's almost like what the Dolphins have going on right now. So while Tyrion Davis-Price, I really like him. I really do. He had the great game this last year where he broke the school record of rushing at LSU. So, I mean, Leonard Fournette, there's plenty of legendary running backs that have gone through there. But Tyrion Davis-Price, I just thought he had a couple of good games in college, and I think he'll be an impact guy. But it just depends on if they'll actually hand him the ball. They didn't even give Trey Sermon a shot last year at all. And now they've got him in the third round, Davis-Price. I don't know. They're just adding. It seems like they're adding running backs senseless here. It just doesn't make sense. So after that, they got Danny Gray, wide receiver out of SMU. Thought that was an okay pick. I like Danny Gray. After that, Spencer Burford, and he is an offensive guard out of Texas, San Antonio. So another guy, I like the offensive line depth here with that. But then it just kind of goes sideways again after that. So then it goes Samuel Womack, cornerback out of Toledo, too high. Nick I can't even say his name. Zakelj, offensive tackle out of Fordham. I watched his tape as well, and he's a solid guy. Then Kalia Davis, defensive tackle out of UCF. He will add nicely to their defensive line. I think they'll develop him pretty well. Here is their next pick in the round 6. Tariq Castro-Fields, I thought he was going to be a round 3 or 4 guy, so I will say that was a good pick for them, getting him in the 6th round. I don't know why he dropped so far, but I thought he maybe could have been a round 2 guy or a mid-round 2 guy. So him falling to the 6th round kind of surprised me a little bit, but regardless, that was a good pick for them. And then round 7, once again, they're just getting picks that they don't need. Why they got Brock Purdy, quarterback out of Iowa State, and it does not make sense. I didn't understand the move at all because you've already got Jimmy Garoppolo. You don't need to add to that, and then you've already got behind him. Why am I forgetting?
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Why did I just forget his name? Anyways, you're getting Trey Lance as well. And so you didn't really need to get a third quarterback here, but they did. And like I said, there was a lot of just picks that I was just scratching my head. Why did they get that? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? So with that being said, I still gave them a C. I thought it was average. I thought they had a couple of good picks here and there, but actually I take it back. I'm going to give them a C-. I thought it was a little below average. I'm going to change that. I'll give them a C-. Looking at it now again, I think it was a little below average because while they got some good players, they just didn't get the right guys at the right times, and they're continuing to, for some weird reason, add backs, quarterbacks and running backs that don't need to be on the roster. So with that being said, yeah, I wasn't too fond of it. I thought it was a little below average, and their best pick for me was Tariq Castro-Fields, cornerback out of Penn State.
You are overlooking that quarterback from Iowa State, that Prudy guy. I got a chance to see him play against Kansas State a lot the last couple seasons, and he is good. He is going to be a very valuable backup in the league for many, many years. When the 49ers trade Jimmy G or cut him or do whatever they do, he is a perfect Trey Lance copy and paste guy. So let's say Trey Lance happens to go down. He is almost a carbon fiber copy of Trey Lance. Now, he's not going to be as good as Trey Lance by any means, but they have the same aneurysms, they have the same body movements. Just
aneurysms,
yeah, that's not what I meant to say, but
I hope they're not having aneurysms.
You never know. You never know. So talking about never knowing, the Seattle Seahawks traded Russell Wilson this offseason. They got a plethora of picks. They got Drew Lock, they got Noah Fant, and they got a offensive tackle, right? I can't remember for sure. Yeah. But the plethora of picks is what we're worried about here. So how did they do in the draft?
Well, I think their plethora of picks comes in
next
year's draft, I believe, or maybe did they trade it? I don't know where their extra picks went. Let's see. They're reading here about it. No, I don't know I don't know what they did with that extra pick. But anyways, round 1, pick 9, they got Charles Cross, who could be the best offensive lineman in this draft if Ickey and Evan Neal don't pan out. This guy really is a solid offensive lineman who is going to be awesome protecting the blind spot of the next 4 quarterbacks that they're going to have over the next several years. He's really good. Just going to be incredible with those guys. So That's round 1, pick 9, and he's an offensive tackle out of Mississippi State. So I really like Charles Cross. Then in the second round, I think they did a great job as well. Boye Mafe, edge out of Minnesota. He's a guy who adds their defense immediately. He will be a starter day 1, I think, on this team, and a difference maker day 1. Then the next pick at 41, they got Kenneth Walker, running back out of Michigan State, the best running back in college football last year, and who is a dude. I mean, he is a heavy load. You cannot bring this guy down. He's super fast. I mean, he's fun to watch. Go watch Kenneth Walker highlights and you'll see what I'm talking about. The guy is electric. He's just a big dude. You hand the ball off to him and he goes forward and picks up yards. It's just that simple. And he picks up a lot of yards at that. Then in the third round, I thought they continued hitting out of the park. Abraham Lucas, offensive tackle out of Washington State, and another solid guy who I think could come in and start either this year or next year for them. Then in the fourth round, another steal, Kobe Bryant out of Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia. No, I'm just kidding. Kobe Bryant, the other Kobe Bryant, not Mamba, rest in peace. But in the fourth round, they got Kobe Bryant, COBY, cornerback out of Cincinnati, who is also going to be number 8 or 24. One of the other two represent Kobe. I don't remember if it was 8 or 24. It was one of them. But he's a solid cornerback as well, who paired very well with Ahmad Sauce Gardner last year, as both of them lockdown defenders. So to get him in the fourth round, that was a really nice scoop, as well as Tariq Woolen, cornerback out of Texas San Antonio, another solid guy, another Texas San Antonio player who went to the NFC West, as well as Tyreek Smith, edge out of Ohio State. Tyreek Smith is a possible steal here for them as well. He's somebody who's flown under the radar and could make an impact pretty quickly. Then in round 7, they realized that their wide receiver core is getting a little depleted. They just lost their quarterback. So what did they do? They went and got Bo Melton and Derek Young, wide receivers out of Rutgers, and Lenore Ryan. Both two guys who could make an impact in the first couple of years as well, on the returning side, on special teams, and also on the field at wide receiver. There's too many good guys ahead of them for them to make a huge impact. I mean, obviously they're not going to just walk in and kick DK and Tyler Lockett out. That's not going to happen, but they'll probably get some reps. So with that being said, overall, thought they had a great draft, an absolutely great draft. Best pick for them, for me, was Kenneth Walker, the third running back out of Michigan State, simply because also Chris Carson, while he is a great running back when he is healthy, that's the thing. When he's healthy, he's not ever healthy. He's always hurt. So they needed somebody to come in who they can trust to be there for all 16, 17 games, or at least somebody who can fill in those 8 games when Carson's not there. And Kenneth Walker is a guy who can do that. So he's going to be taking a lot of snaps from them this year. I think they're going to be a really run-heavy offense this year, actually, especially with Drew Lock at the helm. There's going to be a lot of running, and I think Kenneth Walker could have a pretty big season this year, and a lot of people aren't ready for that. So Kenneth Walker was their best pick for me, and their draft grade, the only good grade that I'm giving in the NFC West, is to the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm giving them an A. I thought they did a wonderful job with this draft. Even though they did trade away their quarterback and everything, they still got some guys. They got some high-quality guys in Cross, in Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker. I mean, really, their first 5 to 6 picks are all solid guys who I think could walk in and make an impact on day 1. So really excited for what they're doing.
Yeah, so the only thing that I disagree with you about your whole draft grade for the Seahawks was that you think Drew Lock is going to be the starter in Seattle, and that is absolutely false. There is another quarterback out there that is going to be starting for the Seattle Seahawks, and that's going to be Geno Smith. You are exactly right.
Either way, doesn't matter. They're going to be handing off the ball a lot, no matter who's the quarterback.
I think it is Geno Smith's job to lose. Like I feel like at this point. And
yeah, he did play a lot last year whenever Russ was out, so I could see them saying, "Hey, look, you've been here longer, you know the system." So
he's been there for 4 years. I didn't know that. But he's been there for 4 years.
They'll probably give him a shot first, but if he screws it up, they're going to be quick to give it to Drew, because they know that Drew will most likely either take it and run with it, or he'll run it into the ground and they'll get an early pick next year and get either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud and be able to kick both of those guys to the curb.
Or Baker Mayfield will be a free agent here in a couple weeks.
Oh my God. I should have known that's where you were going with this.
So it is that time of night, Wyatt, where we're going to play the infamous game of Weddle.
Yes.
So, guys, if you guys don't know what Weddle is, it is a play on Wordle, and you guess NFL players. There's an easy mode and a hard mode. Easy mode is quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs, And then hard mode is everybody, and hard mode is freaking hard. I'm just gonna put it out there. It is
hard mode is hard, and I was told today that yet again we should get this one.
Well,
it is a starter, and that there's a good chance we get. They didn't say we should get. They said there's a good chance we'll get.
So wait, there's backups on hard version 2?
Yeah.
What? Jeez.
Yeah. It's tough. It's anybody on a 53-man roster.
Wow.
It is.
All right, Wyatt, you're messing my screen up there. Leave it on
Sorry. Whoa. No, I'm just kidding.
there. You're making me sick.
All right, here we go. You ready? Are we starting with Patrick Mahomes per the usual?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't missed yet, have we?
That's true. Let's do it. Oh, and we missed today.
Well, that's an AFC player. So
it is an AFC player,
Yeah.
and it's not a quarterback, and they're shorter than 6'3". They're under the age of 26, so they're very young.
Yeah.
They're above the age. I mean, their number is above 15. So right off the bat, I start thinking running back,
Right.
or wide receiver.
Well,
possibly.
short short wide receivers seem to be more common, right? My first instinct was to guess Tyreek Hill, but we found out he's 29 years old, so it's not him. So what about your boy Jalen Waddle?
That's actually a really good guess. Let's do Jalen Waddle. Okay, Buck. Oh, he's shorter though.
Dang, how shorter than 5'10"?
Who's a running back that's shorter
Good
than 5'10"?
God. So he's 5'7". Kyler Murray. No. Oh, wow. So somebody shorter than Kyler Murray in the NFL in the AFC, huh?
So it's AFC. It's AFC North or South too.
And we're looking at a running back, huh?
And it's got to be a running. There's no way there's a 5'8" or 5'9" tight end. There's literally no way. That does not exist.
Yeah, no.
Unless you're playing maybe high school football and the guy happens to be jacked.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only reason why that would ever happen.
Even then, if he's jacked, you'd probably put him in as nose guard. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's gotta be an RB, and they are either 5'9" or 5'8". They are the age of 23, and they are 19 and above is their number.
So
AFC North running backs and AFC South running backs.
So we're going to first of all we're going to eliminate the Browns because Chubb and Hunt are both older, right?
Yeah, they're older than 23.
Yeah, so
this guy has to be a rookie in the last.
Yeah.
In the last year.
So Gus Edwards,
Why am I
maybe.
Blanking? Who?
Gus Edwards, running back for the Baltimore.
That will give us a division too. Let's try that. Gus Edwards. Okay, so it is an AFC South.
Yeah.
Running back. Okay.
AFC South running back. Huh?
Oh man, Gus Edwards is 27. I didn't even know that.
Wow. Yeah. I thought he was only like a couple years in the league. Huh.
Me too. But
So,
anyways,
AFC South.
he hasn't played much.
so Texans,
AFC
Colts,
South,
Jaguars, Titans, huh?
Yes.
Which is they are a running back
James
in the 23.
Robinson.
James Robinson.
Gotta be.
There you go. Bingo was his name. Oh, there you go.
I was thinking AFC South running back, short and young still, and he's got a higher number than 15.
Yeah,
like that fits perfectly.
I was thinking Jalen Mack, right, for the Colts. Like he's pretty young too, isn't he? He's only second year, third year in the league, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, there you go. We nailed easy again. Now the fun begins, Wyatt. Let's get
now
this
the
hard.
fun. Now this is where we get stumped. Here we go.
The warm-up's over.
Let's start. So you want to start with defense again, like we did yesterday?
Yeah.
I kind of like that. We started with Darius Leonard, but we probably shouldn't do Darius Leonard again because it's not going to be it can't be an AFC South player on defense as well. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So
I say we go in a different direction. NFC, maybe a linebacker. NFC. You want to do Devondre Campbell, Packers wide receiver or Packers linebacker?
Yeah.
Oh, Campbell. Okay.
Linebacker, 6'3".
We're moving.
NFC.
We're moving, and he's young too.
Yeah.
And he's young.
Well, less than 28. I can't agree. I don't got my glasses on. right?
He's at least 2 less than 28, so he can't be 27 or 26.
Okay.
So he's 25 or below.
So a
And he
fairly
is
young
a
linebacker in the NFC.
In the NFC South, East, or West.
Okay. Linebackers.
How old is Deion Jones?
I have no idea. No idea.
You want to try Deion Jones?
Yeah.
That'll at least narrow us down a division as well. Oh, okay. Okay, so that tells us he is 25.
Okay.
Because if he was 26, then this would have lit up yellow as well. So he's 25. He's 6'3". He's a linebacker, and he's in the NFC East or West. How about T.J. Edwards out of Wisconsin?
T.J. Edwards or Michael Parsons comes to mind too.
Oh, Mike, you want to do Michael Parsons?
Yeah, let's try that. So it's
Okay,
not
so
the East.
he is.
It's in the West, huh?
So he is a NFC West linebacker that is.
It's kind of ironic that
25.
we just broke down the West too, huh?
Right, isn't that wild? Isn't that
Yeah.
funny? Okay, so
6'3" linebacker, 25 years old. Huh. 49ers. So Bobby Wagner is a 49er now, isn't he? But
yeah, Bobby's way too old.
Yeah, he's pushing 30 probably, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pushing pig.
Yeah. What is the linebacker for the Cardinals that got like 6 sacks last year? Is that Chandler Jones?
Yeah, Chandler Jones is way too old though.
Oh, is he?
Chandler
Okay.
Jones has been in the league for a while.
Okay.
He played with the Patriots for a while, and then I think didn't he play with the Chiefs?
No, he did not. Not that I'm aware of. I don't know.
Let's see. So NFC West. I think Max Crosby is listed as a defensive end, so I don't think we can go with him.
Doesn't he play for the Raiders?
Or he plays. Never mind. He's AFC West. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll wake up. Let's see here. So NFC West linebacker that's young. What about Jordan Brooks out of Seattle? Okay. We're getting closer. Okay, yeah, and that 100% guarantees us now that it's 25.
Yeah.
Since it's got
How about the middle linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers?
Fred Warner?
Yeah, Fred Warner.
That's a great guess. Fred Warner might actually be it. And
There
it
we go.
is!
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Boom, baby.
Let's go.
Why?
It's so hype whenever you get it too. I was thinking about Fred Warner like 2 minutes ago, and I thought to myself, I was like, I think he's a little too old actually. And then you said it again, and I was like, no, if Buck's saying it too, let's go with it.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's go. What a guess, Buck.
This game is very sneakily fun, Wyatt. Like
it is.
I mean, like
yes.
Cindy plays Wordle like all the time. Like, oh, this is fucking dumb. You know, oh, you get like an A or whatever. Cool, but this is fun. I kind of like this one. This one is fun.
If we have time, there's another one too. They have called Purtle, and that's for NBA players.
Well, I would be screwed, but yeah, I mean, we definitely got time. Let's play some Portal. Let's play easy, like because so does because hard I'll be fucked.
Yeah, me too. I would probably be screwed on that one too. Okay, so we got 8 guesses.
Okay, so explain to me how this works. Is it just like is it all NBA players or?
It's the exact same, but it's NBA players.
Okay.
And
so,
then
what's the difference between easy and hard then? Like hard, they play.
There's not an easy and hard.
Oh, okay.
There's not an easy and hard mode. What they do is they give you a silhouette.
Okay.
So this is our silhouette. We can tell, like
He's bald. Al Horford.
Yes, yeah. Al. You want to go with Al first?
Nailed it.
Oh. Okay, so we did get
the East.
Why did team light up yellow?
Eastern Conference.
Well, but this would have been green.
Oh.
What causes it to light up yellow? I don't know.
It's within 1 or 2, right?
Well, I don't.
I'm confused by that.
I am too. That's weird. Because if this was yellow, then that means that it should be an Eastern Conference team. But then that means this would be green.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
let's just play this by ear here.
Maybe it's
not a center forward, so it's a guard, and
maybe
they're much
divisions.
younger.
So like what they have like the Pacific and Central.
Yeah. Well, division's right here too.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's weird. That confuses me. You want okay? Let's go with a younger guard here in the West.
Okay.
For this one, you want to go with De'Aaron Fox?
I like Fox. Yeah, definitely.
Swipe a Fox. Oh yes. So they play in the West. They're in the Pacific Conference, which I'm gonna have to look up what the Pacific Conference totally is. I think it's Kings, obviously. It's Warriors. It's
Lakers, Clippers, Kings, and the Suns too. I think. I think the Suns are in the Pacific as well.
I believe.
So there's 6'3" guard, huh? How about Devin Booker?
That's a good. I think Devin Booker's a little taller than that, but that will at least get us closer to a team. Okay, yeah, he's 6'5". Okay, so they're older too. So they're in the mid age section. Let's see.
It's not LeBron James because he's old as balls. So like when they say guard, would it be like a point guard, shooting guard, small like that type of thing, or is it like specifically?
No, it's a guard. It's like a guard. It can be a shooting guard or a point guard.
Okay. So how old is that Poole guy for the Golden State?
He's young. He's younger. He's probably about the same. I think he's actually might be around De'Aaron Fox's age.
So
do you want to try?
So
Steph
they're
Curry?
27 and below 35. Al Horford's 35 years old. Damn. Yes. Steph Curry's a good one. Yeah.
Steph Curry, I think, might actually be it.
Whoa, Steph Curry's 30, isn't he? He's 34.
34.
Damn.
Wow. So we've at least narrowed down the team now. We know that we have not. It's either Lakers or shoot.
So it's going to be Lakers, Clippers, or
it's going to be Lakers, Clippers. That's it. That's all we have left in that Pacific Division.
Yeah.
Because we've already done these three and it won those three. So it's a guard for the Lakers. Is it Russell Westbrook? You want to try Russ?
Yeah. So 31 years old.
What's the silhouette on this?
So it is a Laker, right?
It is a Laker. It is a Laker there, and we
31 years old.
Yeah.
6
Okay,
foot.
so that means he has to be. He's 2 away from here because if 34 would have lit up then.
Yeah.
So he's 2 away from here. So he's 31.
Okay.
He plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. Why am I drawing a blank on this?
So the Lakers guards, Russell Westbrook was their point guards, right?
Yes.
Was Malik Monk? He's a guard, isn't he?
He is, but he's too young.
Yeah, he's too young.
I'm how old is Kendrick Nunn is what's coming to mind right now, but the problem is I think Kendrick Nunn might be. Is it possibly Avery Bradley too?
Is it the 2 guard for the Lakers was Austin Rivers, right? Doc Rivers' son.
Yeah, he played a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
I think it might be. I'm thinking it might be Avery Bradley. He didn't play too much last year, and a lot of people don't realize he was on the Lakers. I got a really big feeling it might be him.
Okay.
Because he's got to be 30 or 31. He is a guard. He's about 6'3" I would say. He's somewhere right above 6 foot.
Yeah.
So let's
put it in there. Avery Bradley. There you go. He's not bald. He's just receding.
He's just receding.
Let's go, Wyatt. Go. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Man.
We're ridiculous at this. We are too good.
You are ridiculous at this, yes.
This is fun. I love games like this. These are, yes.
Yeah.
It gets me excited.
Wow. I'm surprised there's not a baseball one, to be honest.
Let me check.
Dude, we're not playing baseball. We're talking to...
We'd have to have Brandon Combs.
Yeah.
What's it called? Is it called... Is it Wendell?
I don't know. I didn't even know these games existed until Tuesday.
No, I don't know what it is. I'll try and find a baseball one, and then whenever we have Combs on, Combs take a stab at it while we sit back here and guess what it could be.
He would freaking jack off to that. 100%. All right, Wyatt. We are up against the time, man. It's been a great draft breakdown. The NFL schedule is officially out as of 7 p.m. I think East Coast time when it's officially released. Speaking of which, did you see that Twitter troll account where the guy was like leaking all the all the NFL games, got like 10,000 followers? Like, what?
Yes.
Like, and he was totally just making shit up.
Yeah, it's just like there was a guy a couple of years ago who made a Twitter account of a fake athlete and like posted that he was getting all these offers and stuff, and 24/7 Sports gave him a 4-star and put him on there as like the top offensive lineman in the class or a top 5 or something like that, and he didn't even exist. Like this guy didn't even exist.
Wow.
So it's just like, oh man, it's one of those things where in life you can totally just fake it till you make it. It's crazy.
It is like that movie on Hulu, right? Like where the 19-year-old girl was like piss poor broke and made like a $9 billion company or something like that. Like, did you hear about that? I forget her name was like Faith something, like what's her name? But yeah,
I haven't heard of that. I should watch that. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's very intriguing. Apparently she was taught to talk in a very, very low voice because women with low voices, they listen to them more, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But anyways, starting next week, guys, we are going to break down all of those NFL games. We are going to download the playoff football predictor, and we're going to give you guys the division winners, the playoff winners, and the Super Bowl winners here in the next couple weeks. But Wyatt, each night, do you want to break down a division or break down a team? What do you want to do?
I say we do a division. That'd be fun.
Okay.
I feel like we did the division thing that we did tonight or what we did for the last week or so was good.
Okay. So since we ended with the West, let's start with the West. Let's start with the AFC West on Tuesday, Wyatt. Tuesday morning, if we have a morning show, and if not, it'd be Monday night. So either way, next show.
You're gonna make the hardest one the first one, the one where I really gotta think
exactly
more than anything else. Oh my god.
We are going to see if you're going to put the Kansas City Chiefs above 10 wins or not, and see if that drag bet is going to be on. But anyways, Wyatt, any closing thoughts before we head out, man?
Yes. Be safe. Everybody have a great weekend, and Man Hour Nation, rise up.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Hey, what did you name that guy again?
Rich Strike.
That's right, Rich Strike. Did you know that he pulled out of the Belmont State, so there won't be a triple winner then? A triple crown.
He pulled out of the Preakness today. I saw that. I was really bummed out.
Yeah. Well, at least Wyatt, take notes, pull out. Don't be a dummy. Come on our tummy.